What's going on YouTube? It's LANFEAR here from LANFEAR'S Casual D2R. Today we are going to do a updated version or video on our Tesladin guide. So where we left off on the last guide, where the Tesladin was built up until a certain spec or caliber or level, today we're going to take that further into what I see as being the ultimate setup for your Tesladin. So this, in my opinion, is the best setup that you can have on a Tesladin, and this is for general PVM, a bit of PvP maybe even if you want, but this is focused more on PVM, and this is what I find to be the general best setup for a Tesladin or a dual Dream Paladin or a Holy Shockdin, whichever one you want to call it. So quickly starting off, we have a more detailed video on how we set this character up in the previous one, but this will just quickly run you through what you need to do to set up your character. So it is a max vitality build, so that basically means no points into energy. That's useless. All your gear will give you enough energy or mana. You don't need to put any points into there. All your points will go into vitality after you have put in enough strength for your gear. You can see I only needed a base of 36 strength on my character to equip all my gear, and then enough dexterity to get max blocked once you have put on your blessed shield, or holy shield, not blessed shield. So that's to get your 75% block chance with Holy Shield. So that is your stat point distribution. Then if we have a look here at the skill distribution, what we are going to do is put in all, or not all, you're going to max out Resist Lightning because this synergizes with Holy Shock for more damage. You are going to max out Salvation. So those are two skills in the defensive auras that you will max out. I put one skill into Redemption in case you don't have enough mana regen and life regen. It's a very handy thing. I'll show you later, just to quickly switch to that and get mana and life back from monsters. So you can put one into Redemption. It's not absolutely necessary, but I find it useful at times. Then in your offensive auras, you are going to put one into all your prereqs to get up to Conviction, and here you are going to put enough points into Conviction to get to minus 150 resist all. So Conviction minuses defense from the monsters you are attacking. You are affected by the aura as well as their resistances. You just want to get to that enough points in there to get to your minus 50 resist all. Then in combat skills, your main attack is going to be Zeal. You're going to first max out Sacrifice because this gives you more % damage than first maxing out Zeal. So max out Sacrifice, get all your prereqs to get one into Holy Shield, and then the rest of your points you'll dump into Zeal. So you'll just be putting points in there once you've maxed out everything else that I mentioned. So that is just a recap on the skill tree, and I think this is the most all-round versatile way to put your skills into this build and where to allocate them. So having a look here at the gear on this build, so best weapon for your main weapon is Grief. We've been over this for many times. The average damage that is added by Grief is just better than anything out there in a one-handed weapon. It also has very nice other stats like the deadly strike and the minus target's defense and its attack speed. So Grief is just exactly where you want to be, and I have a video, I'll add a link to that, showing why Grief is the best melee weapon in the game. So we got one with 36% increased attack speed, so you need just over 35 to hit the breakpoints with this build. So the main two components of the dual Dream Paladin are the two Dream rune words. So this I have in a Bone Visage, I have the Dream Helm, and that helmet, it gives us that level 15 Holy Shock aura when equipped. It also has other nice things like All Res and Magic Find, then also faster hit recovery. It's also got, or not, it also has, but then coupled with the shield for Dream, You then have a level 30 Holy Shock when both of these are equipped. Then you have the All Res, the Magic Find, the Life, the Bite, all of those good things on there. And these two are essential. So in my opinion, either putting this in the Bone Visage or one of those Spired Helms or something like that is probably your best bet. And then in terms of a shield for a Paladin, a Sacred Targe is your best bet for rolling this Dream Ruin Word. So we got Grief, our two Dreams. Then for Amulet, I think High Lords is the best because you are still melee based even though you have that aura. The Deadly Strike that's on there, the increased attack speed to hit your breakpoints, the skills, the Lightning Res, it's just a great all-round amulet to have here. There are other options, you could do Maras, you could do Metal Grid, you could do all sorts of things like that, but I think High Lords is just a bit better than the other options. For our armor we have Enigma, and this we put in a mage plate so we don't have to dump too many points into strength. So I used to have an Archon plate. I think a mage plate is probably actually the best. You could even do a breastplate if you want. So why I think Enigma is the best armor choice here is just having that ability to position yourself and your merc, and the versatility of having that teleport. It's just sort of unbeatable. It's got the damage reduction, it's got the strength that it gives you, it's got the magic find, the skills, the faster run walk. There's not a lot better than this. A Fortitude would be another option, and using charge for your mobility, but I just can't get over not using Enigma. For me this suits the playstyle and suits the character best. For gloves, Laying of Hands. So this, the damage to demons, with roughly about 50% of the monsters in the game being demons, this adds a huge buff to your damage when attacking demons. So that 350% damage to demons is really good on these gloves. The fire res and then the attack speed to reach your breakpoint. And here we have a dual leech ring with some res. So the dual leech here just makes it so that you feel super tanky. You're never having to use mana potions or anything like that. It just rounds off the build really nicely. A Raven Frost is what you'll use for your other ring slot, and this is essential because of the cannot be frozen, and it just has all those other nice attributes like the attack rating, the dex, the cold absorb. But the cannot be frozen is why we use this Raven Frost. And then that with the dual leech is your rings, and having a nice solid dual leech ring just makes such a difference on this build. For the bolt, I think that a string of ears over Verdungos is the best for the damage reduction and the life steal. So between the leech ring and the string of ears, you're just leeching back so much life that you never feel like you're in danger. And I think this is probably the best melee bolt, even over Verdungos, and I think it suits this build just absolutely perfectly. It makes you feel so tough and leeching back so much life. So lastly, just rounding off our main gear here, is Gore Rider boots. If you are going to be a melee class character, look no further. These just have everything you need in terms of the run walk, the chance of crush and blow, deadly strike, open wounds. That has everything you need to hit that level of doing a lot of damage to both bosses and tougher monsters, as well as just everything. So for damage, Gore Riders just rounds off everything perfectly. Then we have a Call to Arms. This is a really badly rolled one, so this will just give us that extra battle orders, which will give us more life and more mana, as well as giving us 1+ skill from the battle command. So just a Call to Arms there, and then a Spirit in a Paladin shield here, just to help you with that cast rate and the skills when you are buffing yourself up. In terms of our inventory, we have a Paladin Torch and then a Nihilist Charm. For any character, ideally you want either of these on your character. It's just too good to be overlooked. Then we have an assortment. I've got a Geeds as well, just to add a little bit of extra magic find into the build. So I got the Geeds, and then the rest is an assortment of damage and attack rating and resistance charms that I need. So you basically just want damage, attack rating charms, or max damage, attack rating charms here. maybe if it's got some life on it or any other useful stats. But that rounds out our gear on our character, and for me, after testing a lot of different setups, this for me works the best. And you'll see as the video goes on, when I'm fighting some monsters, that this really works so well. I think if you want to set up your Tesladin, this is what you should be aiming for. So, looking at our Mercenary quickly, we have got a Treachery. It just gives him that attack speed, the faster hit recovery, as well as the Fade. So that will make him super tanky, and I don't think you get, I mean, you could do a Fortitude, but I think Treachery much cheaper and works just as well, if not better. So I would go with Treachery for his armor. He's got an Andariel's Visage with a Roll Rune, and this again just gives him the attack speed, the life leech, and the strength, and it's just super useful, super good. That is the ideal helmet. It would be nice if it was ethereal, but this is what we got. And then this ethereal, or is that even ethereal? Yes, it is. This is a really nice Reaper's Toll that I found. It's got that 15 life leech, some good enhanced damage, and that Decrypify that it procs, it just boosts your damage output so much. I mean, you could run an Infinity on you and then not run Conviction yourself and do Fanaticism, but I don't think that that works quite as well as having a Reaper's Toll Mercenary on Act 2. And he's got the Might Aura to boost both of your damage, and he's just a super tanky, super good Mercenary. So that's the setup on there. So we are just gonna run a couple areas here whilst I chat a bit more about this build. We'll just jump into a Chaos Sanctuary quickly. With what I was saying, with where the build came from our previous video to now, this is just really complete and really well rounded off. I mean, you can see here how you just mow through anything that is in front of you. So your aura is putting out a lot of damage. That's that 30, level 30 Holy Shock, and then plus your plus skills and the rest of it, it just really does a lot of damage. And whilst that's doing nice AoE for you, your Zeal, which is, it shows at 8k here, but because it's using Grief, it won't show you your actual paper damage, but it is super high. I've got a little bit of Magic Find on this character. It is sitting at 166, which isn't great. It's not bad though, and it just rounds out this already great all-rounder character, just to be able to do somewhat a bit of MF as well. So I'm just going to have a look for the bigger packs of monsters here, and you can just see how no matter what's around you, what's in front of you, you are outputting an insane amount of damage and feeling unstoppable and completely tough through doing it. You are not feeling in any sort of danger. You're leeching so much life, leeching so much mana. Nothing is a bother for this character. I think that using Grief over any other one-handed weapons is by far the way to go. You just have such good consistent damage and such good attack speed that you're leeching a lot from it. There's nothing more powerful in that slot than your Grief. I've tried everything aside from a Last Wish, and I've watched other people and been with people who use a Last Wish, and although very powerful and maybe better against bosses and Ubers, it's not necessarily better for your all-round playstyle with this build. It's got Magic Find and some extra little things there that are nice, but it's not worth the price firstly, and Grief just performs just ever so slightly better. I mean, I think Grief is here to stay in terms of a main hand for melee characters. It's just too powerful to overlook. You can see this pack here. It's no problem at all. It just absolutely melts. Diablo is not going to be any sort of an issue either. So you can see that with Enigma as well, just being able to teleport and position yourself and, you know, just control your character that much more better is just so useful. I mean, Diablo took, what, a second and a half there. He went down very quickly. I'll just quickly show you maybe a Travincle run. They are quite a tough monster pack in the game here in Hull. And this will show you just what quick work this Tesladin will make of the Travincle and the Council. Or the Travincle is not a hard pack, the Council in the Travincle is a hard pack. So that's them done. You can see no issue there whatsoever. So doing any sort of MF runs and stuff, having Enigma is just such a help. I've tried Fortitude and using Charge to get around, and it's by no means a bad playstyle, it's just not the same as Enigma. Enigma is just it's similar to Grief in that aspect, where it's just so good you can't really overlook it. So the lightning damage being output here from the Aura, you can see with these smaller mobs how it just absolutely melts them without even doing a thing. You just need to teleport into a pack and they are dead within a second or two, probably about 2 ticks or 2 pulses of that Aura. So I'm super happy playing through this initial stage of Diablo 2 Resurrected and building this character. I think it is one of the strongest characters out there. I mean, this is only players 1, but even in players 8 games, you are so tough, and the amount of damage that you do is very hard to compare other characters. I mean, yes, a lightning sorceress, or what else is there that's that strong? You know, there's very few classes and builds that are as strong as what this Paladin is. I mean, Paladin all round has a lot of great builds. This is definitely up there with one of the best. I think the Fist of the Heavens Paladin in the new patch coming out this Friday, it will be comparable to this. A Hamadin is comparable to this as well, but I don't think a Hamadin is as tough as what this is, and I don't think it just doesn't hit quite the same. I think the AoE that you have on this is a bit better than a Hamadin as well, and we'll see how the Fist of the Heavens stacks up and compares in the coming season. But yeah, at the moment for me this is the top Paladin build. You can also do an Auradin, which is combining the Holy Fire with this, with some other choice items, and I think it comes close, but I think the pure Tesladin is still stronger than an Auradin. I think the Auradin may be a little bit more versatile, but it doesn't compare in pure output to this specific build. I'm just going to get some mana back from these monsters and then teleport to Bale. So, I mean, even these souls, which are a notoriously difficult pack, they don't stand for more than a second in front of the Tesladin. As I've shown before, you can do Ubers with this exact build so easily. You don't need to change a thing. You just run in as if there were any other monster pack, and you go right ahead and you kill Ubers. You could put on Smite, you can use Zeal normally as you would. However you cut it, there's not a lot that's going to pose much of a threat to you with this build. So, as you can see, you can quickly switch on your Redemption Aura and get some health and mana back if you need to. It's a nice little useful skill to have, but like I said, you don't need to put any points into Redemption, or even just that 1 point wonder. Just gonna get my work out of the danger there. You can see the Fade proc on him. But yeah, this is definitely going to be a build that I'm looking at doing again in patch 2.4. I'll play around with the Oridin and the Fist of Heaven's Paladin as well, but I think this is ultimately where I would end up again. There's just no denying its power, and yes, it's a bit expensive with the Dual Dream and Enigma, and I guess Grief, but for what you're paying, you get a lot out of it. And I mean, it doesn't matter where you are running in this game, no matter what map, what area, whatever's around, you've got the conviction to make immunes non-immune, and you've got the damage and the survivability to do absolutely anything you need, whether that's on players 1 or players 8. You got everything you need with this hero. So I think in summation that wraps it up, and killing Vale here, this character is just so strong. There's no really downsides. I mean, I guess the downside could be that it's a little boring just because of how good it is, but I have a lot of fun playing it. That being said, he looks awesome. I mean, that's always a plus in Diablo, if you look cool doing what you're doing. And he looks awesome, performs absolutely awesome. I couldn't be happier with this build. I think it's well balanced, well rounded. It's exactly what you want. And yeah, I think that's it. With that being said, I'm so looking forward to the new patch coming out this Friday. Can't wait to play that. I'll probably start with the Sorceress and then focus on the Paladin, and we'll bring you more content on different builds and how the new patch is coming out, so please stay tuned for that. And yeah, we are so excited for it, and we are so excited to bring out some more content showing you that new patch. So I guess this is just a little rounding off the previous season going into the next, and this Tesladin, I think this is the ideal way to build it. I mean, if those runs are anything to go by, it just takes everything in its stride and melts anything in front of you. So give this a try. It's also going to be awesome in the new patch, so this will provide a good basis for you to work from in the new patch. And until the next video, thank you very much. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you again soon. Cheers.